Regan Slaymaker for Not Just Boxing. I have the pleasure to be joined by promoter Johnny Clark. Before we get into the boxing, Johnny, I was upset with you midweek.
I know what you're going to say, yeah. Sorry about
Why is my brother coming off conversations with you and so you're saying that my brother's 4 years younger than me, that he's older than me, Johnny? Am I immature, is that what you're saying?
Nothing to do with hairline, I just want to put that out there. Maybe he just acts older, who knows?
maybe, but yeah, maybe I'm just immature. Just the guy with the camera, that's all. He's
the one in front of him, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, yeah, soon to be. I think he's actually got a bet with his boss that he's not allowed to be on camera for a year. I'm pretty sure. And knowing my brother, that's hard for him to stay out of the limelight. Anyway,
no, he's all right. Listen, I met him. I liked how he spoke. I liked how he conducted himself. So yeah, he just seemed a bit older than you.
Thanks, Johnny. But we'll move on quickly. March the 30th, Johnny. We've spoke about this show.
Yeah.
Constantin, Ursu, Eithan James officially for the Commonwealth welterweight title. I mean, a massive show. Another Sunday. Yeah. A massive show at York Hall, March 30th, mate.
Yeah, it's nice to have a little change up in it. You know, doing the same thing all the time. It can get a bit repetitive, a bit boring. I could do Brentwood Centre stood on my head. Do you know what I mean? So no, it's good to test yourself a little bit, and you know, different venue, different setup, different rules. I'm liking it. It's pushed me a little bit, you know, like it's opened my brain again to thinking about putting on a boxing show, and that's what I've enjoyed. Like I've been there measuring up. Like when I had Brentwood Centre, I had to go there with a measuring stick, but it was on the wheel, do you know what I mean? And measure where the ring was going to go, where I was going to put the stage, the walkout, and obviously York Hall was already there for you. So it has made it a little bit easier. I'm just excited for a new challenge, and I love the top tier atmosphere, and everyone's always said imagine that in York Hall, how it would sound. So with the competitive fights, you're going to find out.
Definitely as well, and obviously that's the main event. But let's talk about Constantin Ursu. Obviously you've got him to your management team as well. You've had him on top tier multiple times. I mean, this is a fight that not only are you really excited about, but you have so much trust in him that he's going to go all the way to the top. Yeah,
all the way to the top. I don't doubt it. But this is a tough task ahead of him. And like, I'll be honest with you, like when you're next to someone, you feel their aura. When you go to the gyms and watch them spar, you believe in him even more. Do you know what I mean? And when you see his coach who's driving 6 hours here today, and he's driving 2.5 hours to Portsmouth for sparring in the morning, then he's driving back after that to Plymouth, then Friday he's driving to Liverpool, driving back Friday night, and then going back there on Sunday. Shows dedication. And when you're around that and you feel the belief and you see what's going on in them sparring sessions as well, you really see that it isn't just something that we're talking about. You see that it is the real deal.
Definitely, and he's a fighter who, I think after his last fight, I think you sent me the interview that I'd done with Constantin, and he basically said I'm going to stop him before he quits, and he literally does exactly what he says on the tin. He whatever Constantin says, he does in that ring as well. Yeah,
he doesn't chat shit. Do you know what I mean? I'd be eager to find out what he said in these interviews. Sorry, I shouldn't swear.
No, I've got my title for the interview, Johnny. That's fine by me, mate.
But he don't chat shit. What he says, he believes in himself, and everyone around believes in him as well. And like I said, I don't know what he's saying about this fight yet. I'm eager to find out what he's saying. I want to see it. I want to feel it. You know what I mean? And when this is close now, they're building it up. It's 3 weeks away. You're in the media day. They're doing it head to head. You start to feel a bit more, and Eithan is very confident, and again it makes me nervous, you know what I mean, because now I'm more invested in Ursu than any other boxer on the show, do you know what I mean, because he's part of the management team, and it's great to see someone so confident to fight Ursu. Don't get me wrong, I've seen the Lewis Boots and everyone pretend they're confident, but you can see they're not. Eithan is his ex-European WBO champ, you know, he's Queensbury boy, and he's on here. And he's looking to make a statement and obviously open up another contract with Queensbury with another title. So, yes, it's a great fight for Ursu, and if he wins, I think it will turn a lot of heads, because a lot of people know about him, because me and his team, they're just non-stop talking about him. But this is a name that will push him up there. Don't get me wrong, we're looking at names that are more up, for instance, Michael McKinson. You know what I mean? That's a name that we'd love to fight. They'd love to box him. We believe that is the level, the ranking, and like Elliot Well, he's got a great record as well. Great ranking, you know, and we've got to start looking up the rankings a little bit now because people below ain't going to want to fight him.
Definitely. I mean, Michael McKinson, Elliot Well, too. Probably Mikey, probably the one above Elliot Well. No disrespect to Elliot Well, he's a great fighter. Obviously, he had a great win on your show as well. But definitely, after this fight, obviously all going your way, the way you think it will, are those 2 fights that you're going to be gunning for next? Yeah,
I believe one's been signed, and the other one's a free agent. And obviously, Mikey's been writing that he wants to fight. So if they're winning, we're winning.
Definitely. I mean, and then before we get into the inline management as well, Johnny. Really good undercard as well. I mean, Stevie Levy here, obviously, we've seen her on Matchroom shows.
She's mad, isn't she?
Mate, I love her. She's absolutely great. And then, obviously, Kevin Nagako on the show. Ross Driscoll as well. I don't know if you've seen his KO from a few weeks ago. It's absolutely unbelievable. A really, really good undercard as well. And Zach Fee stepping up against Darwin Martinez, which... I remember watching Darwin Martinez fight Kurt Walker, and he gave him kittens for a couple of rounds. I mean, really good undercard, Johnny.
Yeah, and that's what we try and do. Like, if you're fighting an away fighter as a journeyman, and you're paying for him to come over, I don't want him to come over and roll over. You know, I want them to be testing prospects, because otherwise, what was the point? You know, all you done it for was to have another fight night. Your sparring would have been harder. So anyone that's on the show, we want you in a real test. And 8 rounds against a tougher opponent Zach Fee's had in Darwin, well, I love that. And the next fight's going to be for a title, and it's going to be someone who's come in to beat you and take your head off and is training for you for 8 weeks. Whereas at the moment, they're all training, and then you get your opponent, and then you start, right, he's this, he's that. You know what I mean? You're not really training, you're just working in the gym, aren't you? And then having a fight at the end of it. Whereas now, he knows his opponent, he's training for him, and then the next fight will be hopefully a title fight for him.
Definitely, really good talented prospect is Zach Fee as well. Inline management, Johnny, you just announced the signing of Harley Whitwell as well. And obviously struggling with injuries in the last couple of months, but really excited for Harley to kind of build some momentum and get that necessary push that I know you've had her on top tier shows, but now you're going to be invested in her career as well. Yeah,
100%. No, co-managing with her dad, and she's someone I believed in. Like, people that come on the show, no disrespect, but there's been 2 people that really stood out. You know what I mean? Other than the people that are signed by Matchroom and Queensbury and Wasserman, obviously I can't touch them. But when you had Ursu and Harley, like, listen, they just stood up levels above. Do you know what I mean? And I want to build them, but then what happens once I build them? They're gone, you know, and it's well done everyone else. See you later. Thanks, John. So I wanted to be a bit more greedy and a bit more business-like. So started with Ursu, and I said, I don't want too many more. I've had so many approaches. As soon as I announced Ursu and Inline, I had so many approaches, but, you know, I'm a dad of 4, and I know how to split my attention up correctly. If you start having too many, it's very hard at the same time, and I give something 100% when I do it. So I said I wanted a female fighter next, and I knew who I wanted, you know, just as a different test for me and grow me as a mager. I want a heavyweight, you know what I mean? And then also want a light boxer, and that's all I want. I don't want too many, and a foreign boxer. Sorry, one more. But I don't want to do too much, because I give 100% to the boxing, and it does take a lot away from family time, and I do believe that every boxer needs the treatment that Ursu gets.
Definitely as well, going to go from a father of 4 to a father of 10, I think. A couple of.
I've got to do a face-off. Can I pause it?
Oh, there you go. We'll pick this up in a minute.
Come back.
We'll pick this up. Cheers, man. Just picking this up. There's always something more important than a not just boxing.
A nice photo.
Nice little photo with a face-off for the main event, March 30th.
The fuck was that?
Shout out the Avely
Shout out
crew.
Alcoholics.
Shout out Alcoholics and Avely crew everywhere. I hope he doesn't hear that and beat me up. But Johnny, we'll move on to the next show. I thought it was going to be Chatham Town talking to you off camera, but we've got the top tier tournament is making its way back, mate. Yeah,
so May the 25th, York Hall again. Got a heavyweight top tier tournament. A great lineup for that. It's gonna. I was hoping to post the poster today, because it's 10 weeks out. Put the camera on him. Who is he? Look. Who is it? You want to come on? Top tier tournament, May the 25th, 4 heavyweights. Listen, you're always trying to battle other promotions and battle yourself and the previous show. Do you know what I mean? So you're always aiming to have a better poster come out. You know what I mean? And it was very hard to beat this one. Just for the levels for it, like Keegan and Jargo, you know what I mean? But we've got a similar story on the next one. and then we've got a 4-man heavyweight prize fighter. Can't say prize fighter because Eddie Hearn copyrighted it, so it's a knockout tournament. and then obviously the winner of this fight will be on there defending the belt.
Definitely as well. And I do want to, there was obviously a certain heavyweight fight on your last show. I'm going to make an educated guess. Could we see Louis Pachetti and Thomas Spark feature in that heavyweight tournament?
Louis Pachetti, Courtney Bennett, Taron Willits and Dorian from Peacock Gym.
Dorian Krasmiru.
Yes.
Oh, nice man, Dorian. I like Dorian.
So I couldn't say his last name, so I said Dorian and you knew the rest. But yeah.
Always do my research, Johnny.
Some lineup, but the hardest thing about this is obviously heavyweight sparring, heavyweight issues, you know, so it's going to be hard to, I know, keep it together. We've got a stand-in in Gideon. Atawi, is it Atawi? I think it is, isn't it?
Yes, he also trains with Courtney Bennett, is that right?
Yeah. So we've got him as a stand-in. Fingers crossed it all goes well. Yeah, I mean, but if it does, then fuck me, what a show.
I'm sure it will be, and what a show back at York Hall as well. Yeah. Heavyweight tournament at York Hall, that sounds double lively.
Double lively.
And then also, obviously, after the last show, there was a lot of talk about Chatham Town. Are we any closer to this big event?
The venues should be approved by the board anytime soon. A couple of licensing changes had to happen. But we're closer, every day's closer to where it needs to be. Looking at July the 20th now, due to a couple of holidays. But yeah, it's closer. Still everyone begging to get on the show for that, so it's exciting. And I just needed realistically to get this show out of the way, so then I'm always working 2 shows in front, you know, so it's hard to concentrate on that one where it's so far away, but now like it's kind of making sense for me to start talking about it. So
definitely as well. And then obviously, Johnny, a few interviews ago now, obviously we make a habit of these interviews now, but you were saying kind of, I said, is there a chance of getting a British title on the show? And you were like, we're going to stay in our own lane, and being very humble with it. But this show's got a Commonwealth title on the line, right? Everything essentially that you've said about kind of getting these titles on there, but maybe staying one below that where you would like to be, you're still superseding that with this Commonwealth title. Is it more like we could get a British title on a top tier show towards the end of the year?
We'd much rather be the away fighter and go and earn a big purse. At the end of the day now, we've got Constantin Ursu fighting a Queensbury boxer. You know, the next step would be a matchroom boxer on a matchroom show. Conor Walker, he's the champion. We're next in line. We won the final eliminator. He sneaked in against Harry Scarf, and then he had to fight Taylor as the agreement before the fight. So I'm sure they're going to fight him next. Ursu's got this fight, one in May 25th, and then afterwards I think he'd like to continue his journey. And if they're not going to sign him, then he'll beat them. And that's what he'll do. So he's got Queensbury, then Matchroom. That's the route we want to take. And if you don't like your camera, kick it. It's up to you.
I'm just going to try and kick my camera away to end this interview, Johnny. No, definitely not. But anyway, my final one, Johnny. Yeah, what future holds? Obviously, we mentioned those 2 fights with top tier. What does the rest of the year look like, mate? More tournaments, more titles, more activity for your favourite fighters as well? Yeah,
we take it as it comes. Obviously, we just like to keep it different. Like, I'm not signed by DAZN. I want to be signed by DAZN. What can you do, John? What are you going to do? Just the same show that everyone else is doing week in, week out, you know, trying to put a title on, trying to get a 50-50 on. So I just try keeping it a bit more exciting. So I changed venues, do you know what I mean? Got a bit of a big title on. Next show, what am I going to do? The same one? No. So we're going to do a prize fighter. Not prize fighter already, we're going to do a knockout tournament. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I just want to keep it exciting, get signed. And I think when you look at top tier, it's never boring. Do you know what I mean? It's so different every time. You've got a Wasserman fighter headlining, you've got a Matchroom fighter headlining, and then you've got Queensbury. But what I want to start doing is putting the top tier fighters against them, you know, and then if there's no space for them on their shows, come on my show, it's fine. You know what I mean? And hopefully we'll take your record, and then you can look at the top tier boxers and signing them, and then once again the Academy of Boxing strikes again.
Definitely. I've never heard a promoter try and avoid kind of saying copyrighted words, but I'm going to end this interview like the heavyweight tournament. To paraphrase Michael Buffer, they're going to be let's get them ready to tumble. Avoiding copyrighted issues, but promoter Johnny Clark, it's always a pleasure. Looking forward to March 30th, mate.
Thank you, mate. See you there.